So, welcome to the Black Excellence Club podcast. I appreciate you donating some of your time to be here. My name is Sakudani Robinson, and your name is
Che Willis, and thanks for having me.
Che. No problem. So I'm just gonna get you to introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Che Willis. I am a part-time entrepreneur. I have a full-time job, which I do sales for Centos Corporation. I'm a uniform sales rep, and on the side, I do real estate investing, and then I take the profits from the real estate investment and then invest it into the stock market. So then it'll grow, and then I can buy more real estate.
Okay. And the name of your company is Willis Real Estate?
Correct. The Willis Real Estate. Yes.
Okay. So tell us about your real estate company.
So what I do, and it's funny that you asked that because it's always been passive for me, and just buying property after property after property as much as possible so that I could retire early, because I never wanted to work until I was 65 or 62, whatever the case may be. So I formulated this plan in my head. Okay, I'm going to buy a property every few years until it supplements my income. Since joining the morning meetup, I've been in the morning meetup for probably 6 months now, actually 4 months. It let me believe that I can do more and get my plan done faster. So since joining the morning meetup, I've been really, really after it, just trying to find and formulate different plans on how I can get the job done faster. So
I can totally relate to that. I joined the meetup July 1st, and it's given me the push that I've needed all year. So because I'm in it, I know I'm gonna reach my goals by the end of the year. Like
100%.
It's no if, ands, or buts. They're gonna be achieved at this point. So when did you become a real estate agent?
So I'm not a real estate agent. I just buy properties. I am a landlord. My strategy is buy and hold. So it's supplementing my income. One little twist that kind of got put into it along the way is paying off my primary residence. I don't know if you heard of them. I went through Dave Ramsey's program, Financial Peace University, which basically is talking about lowering your debt and then investing. So what I did was I paid off all of my consumer debt, credit cards, car payment, student loans, things of that nature, my wife and I, and then we started attacking the house. Okay. So once we started attacking the house, we just paying it down and down and down. And then the money that we were paying on our student loans and other debts and things like that, we just basically snowballed into the house. So right now we're on pace to pay our house off next year at some point. I don't have a specific date, but next year is going to be the year. I don't care if it's December, whatever the case may be, but we have a plan to get it done. We budget every month. We budget for extra principal to be paid, and we're getting it done. So to tell you a little bit about, the real estate. So started buying real estate back in 2008, right at the crash. So we bought our first rental property, and I think we paid like $23,500 for it. They already had a tenant in there. The investor just wanted to get rid of the house. So we got the house, and then they stopped borrowing money. They stopped allowing people to borrow money. So I'm like, damn, what am I going to do now? So I'm like, all right, cool. Instead of borrowing money from the bank, now I got to save up my own money. So I'm in sales. So I'm just saving up all my commission checks and just keep saving and saving and saving. A few years later, got enough money, save up to buy more, and did that. And then took the money from the other properties and then the savings that I was doing for my commission checks, and then buying more real estate. So at that point in time, went through the Dave Ramsey program. And then after that, I just stopped borrowing money and just paid all the houses off and then just saved up and then bought more. So we currently have 4 properties. And now instead of putting the money in the bank, because I learned through the morning meetup that instead of having the money in the bank, you need to be doing something with that money. The money needs to be working for you.
Yeah.
So now I'm putting the money in the stock market, and right now is the best time to do it because everything's down right now. So everything's like
Mm-hmm.
Black Friday. So I'm just dumping money into the market, and then once it goes back up, and hopefully the housing market crashes a little bit, then we can get some houses on discount.
Okay. So with the investment properties that you own all of those outright. So no
Correct.
loans on those at all.
Nope.
Okay. That's
Yeah, all
that's
outright.
that's good. I'm trying to
Yeah.
get there someday.
You
Uh
can. It's
I
not as hard as you think. I
I
promise you, it's not as hard as you think.
I'm not disagreeing, but the housing market in Bermuda, man, it's like 10 times. Where are you exactly again?
I am in Delaware, but I
Delaware.
buy my properties in Chester, Pennsylvania, which is
Okay.
not too far from where I live.
All right. So what are the size of these properties? Like
Uh,
duplex, single?
yeah, they're twins, row homes.
Okay. Do you
Yeah,
mind saying how much like one of them is worth or
absolutely. So
okay.
I just looked at one of them. One I bought for 15,000. I fixed it up for maybe 40, and right now it's worth like 93.
Audacious. That's
Yeah,
so 90,000 what your house is worth is a down payment in Bermuda.
wow,
Yeah. You don't
that's
have
crazy.
we don't have anything under I want to say 350 and at 350 that's a fixer upper.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's why I say it's doable, just not where I'm located. So for me to for me to do it, I have to do it outside of Bermuda and then come back home. But yeah, like Bermuda
Okay.
is one of the it not is one. It is the most expensive place to live on Earth at this present time, and it's been that
E-
for like the past 5 years. So and like especially during COVID, like houses were actually on discount, but people were just like, nope, it's no longer a buyer's market. It's definitely a seller's market, and
Gee
yeah,
is.
it's ridiculous right now.
Do you know anybody over in the States?
Yeah, I know
Over
people
here?
in the states. Yeah.
That might be a way. I mean, I'm not so I'm learning, like I'm kind of unlearning things that I was doing
Hmm.
before, partnerships and things like that you're
Right.
learning in the morning meetup. Where before I wasn't necessarily about partnerships because I didn't want to have to deal with anybody else's stuff that they had going on.
Hmm.
And if I wanted to change and pivot and go in a different direction with things, I don't want to have to consult with anybody except my
Right.
wife. So I'm learning now that maybe that might be an option. Take a couple dollars and maybe invest in somebody else's project where you can
Hmm.
start building that capital up.
That's definitely what I'm leaning towards. Other than investing in myself, is just building a capital so that when I find something, I can just do it and not like, oh, I need to liquidate this, liquidate like nah. I'm just
Correct.
building my cash reserve at this point. But that's my goal is to invest in like investment properties in the US and not just only in the US, like anywhere in the world really. Um
Definitely.
because I like to travel, so if I'm gonna travel, I'd rather have somewhere I can stay for free than pay someone else to stay there. So that's my ultimate goal. But right now, I'm working on the small steps that's gonna help me earn the money so that I can afford to do that. So
Dope.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
I went through well basically through the questionnaire and then a little bit from your Instagram page to get some information on what to talk about.
Sure.
So I just have them as different topics. So I'm just gonna mark this again, and then so the next topic is investing. What does investing mean to you?
Put your money to work and have it march back with more dollars. That's basically it. Sending soldiers out to work and then bringing back more money.
I'm
So
making
it's
that
just
up.
as simple as that.
Most definitely. When and where did you first hear about investing?
I'm going to say when my very first job out of college was an enterprise rent a car, and they talked about 401k. I'm
Mhm.
like, all right, well, what is that? So, talked to a manager, and they told me about 401k, and then how the company matches the 401k. So it's basically free money that you get, and it's pre-tax dollars. So, that's where I first learned about investing.
Okay, and do you still invest into the 401k? No.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now. Like I'm heavy into. So my company have stocks as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more heavily invested on the company side
Okay.
versus the index funds and things like that they have for us. Because the company is doing really well. Like when I first started there, I think the stock price was at maybe $28 a share,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it closed at 425 right now. But I've been working there for
Okay.
15 years,
Okay. So you've been there for
so
quite some time.
yeah,
Okay. And do you
yeah,
max out your 401k? Is it?
yes,
Yeah. And is
yeah.
it 6,000? I can't remember.
It's only 6%.
6%.
They
Okay.
only allow me to do 6%.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Why do you feel investing is so important?
Because I think it allows you to live the life that you want to live, right? Because if you invest in the right things, you're going to get a return. If
Mm-hmm.
you get a return, then you can either, if you don't need the money right away, which thank God we don't need the money right away, now you can just keep investing in those things until you need the money.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you need the money, you'll have a stockpile of cash or a stockpile of investments where you can either pull from, sell an asset, and things of that nature. So right now, I'm just in the stockpiling assets, just stuff that's just going to constantly make me more and more money. So then when I need it, I'll have it just sitting over here to the side.
Right. What do you invest in, if you don't mind saying? So I know some people.
Nah. So as far as like
Like when
the
it
actual
comes
stock,
to stocks, yeah.
so XLK, XLY, Google, Amazon. I have some shares in my company, Centos.
So you do mostly individual stocks?
Well, mostly I do the ETFs.
Okay, yes.
The
I know you're
yeah,
talking about,
I
yeah.
do ETFs mostly because I don't like the exposure of the single stocks. But again,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of unlearning the things that I was doing before. So
Okay.
now I'm okay with investing in the single stocks as long as I believe in what the company's doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of Apple,
All right.
Microsoft, those
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
so I want to say, when did I even start? I started a brokerage account like in the US because that's completely different from our local stock market. I
Mm,
want to say I started it in March, but I didn't start actually using it until April. And
okay.
within about 10 months, I put like 20K into that.
Go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right now, it's not
That's
looking
good.
like 20K, but I know I put it in there, so that's all that
Yeah.
matters.
So here's the thing. I think with new investors and with anybody who's investing, period. I think if once you create the habit of doing it, you just keep doing it,
Yeah.
and whether it's down or whether it's up, you just keep doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and just it's all about creating that habit. Once you create the habit, you just keep doing it over and over and over again, and then you'll see the returns later on. So don't focus on that.
Most
Don't
definitely. My
focus on
my mindset is compound at this point. Like I want to say I started taking investing serious late 2019.
hmm
And I started off like of my cuz I'm single, I don't have no children, so I like to travel. That's all I spend my money on. But I was
Okay.
really good at saving, but then I was like saving isn't making me any money, so I need to figure something out. So I was introduced to investing through one of my coworkers. So I
hmm
started doing that. I fell off a little bit, and I was like it's time for me to take this serious. And that was in basically end of 2019, beginning of 2020. So I think
Okay.
I started off with what did it? I matched my monthly expenses. So at the time, my monthly expenses were 1,300. So that's how much I was investing every month. I was like, that's the least that I can do. Like I'm not using it. It's just going to a savings account.
Yeah.
So I did that consistently. I shouldn't know. I didn't do it consistently throughout the whole of 2020, but all of 2021 I did, and that's why I was able to put 20K into one account. That doesn't include all the other investing I did that year.
Dope.
So it's
That's
like I've spent like last year I spent a lot of money in investing, and I'm very proud of myself. But it's just like
that's good. That's
keep
very
doing
good.
that, and I still took vacations. Like I still live my life, like. So it's not like I
Yeah.
was doing it and not. doing that. So this year I upped my investing amount to, I think it's 1,600 per month now. So it's more than my monthly expenses, and it's just I'm just
That's
trying to
beautiful.
stay consistent. So right now,
That,
yeah, next
so
is
what are you investing right now, if you don't mind me asking?
um so I'm like, hold on, let me pull it up because I haven't checked on it for a while. But other than my US stock market, I do invest in the Bermuda Stock Exchange, which is more
Okay.
of a what's the word? It's a stable market, so to say.
Okay.
Um yeah, when it comes to that, I started in like 2018, but I fell off. And
Hmm.
then 2020, I took it a little more. 2019, 2020, I took it more serious. It's like, okay, I invested into three companies. I need to have 5,000 shares of each. That's my goal. So one company decided they weren't going to be on the stock exchange anymore, so I could no longer buy into it.
Hmm.
Which was fine at the time. They weren't paying dividends, but once they got off, they started paying dividends. So now it's just like I have no reason to sell it right now because now you're actually paying me dividends. So I'm just like, bet that's just gonna sit there. I'm gonna let that ride until they decide to like, hey, you need to come sell your shares, like Um,
That's
and then another one that I have is it's called BAS. I can't remember exactly what it is right off the bat, but it was like the least amount. So I can get the most amount of shares fastest on this one. So it's like,
okay.
okay, I can get my 5,000 within 3 months. Okay, that's what I'm doing for right now. And right now I'm looking and getting my 5,000 in the last company that I have, which is actually a drip program. So with this one, I'm okay with taking my time with it because each time they pay out, I get a little more, a little more, a little more. So once I get that to 5,000 shares, I'm just gonna leave it and let it run until I'm ready to start investing into it again. Just because my goal has shifted to having some cash so I can just invest whenever I please. And then once I get to a certain amount there, then I'll go back into going into this market. Um, but when it comes to the US market, I have Apple, Airbnb, an ETF called ARK. I have oil companies, BSM, Lee. I got a little bit of Facebook, and then I have SPY and VOO. And that's it. My
Okay.
account's coming back up.
Beautiful. Funny story. Funny story. And one of the things that scared me out of the market, whenever Facebook went public, I bought $5,000 worth of Facebook, and that was going to be my son's college account or whatever. And it dropped. I think it was at when it first opened up, it was like maybe 39, $38, something like that. I didn't know what I was doing. Put the five in, dropped down to 19, and I ran.
Oh,
Give me
you
my money.
sold it?
I'm out.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh, man. I kick myself every time, but later on down the line, we opened up a brokerage account for him and did a 529 for him. So he can, again, like you said, my why is making sure that he's straight and
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have debt and things like that. So set him up with a 529 plan. So then when he goes to school, because he's 11 right now, it's almost fully funded. So when he goes to school, he has no debt and he has a good start.
Right.
Yeah.
That's definitely important in our community these days.
Yeah.
It's definitely important. I think I have two more questions to do with investing. What
Okay.
is your advice for someone that's never invested before?
Okay. So I would say if you have a budget set up, set aside money that you're okay with losing if all hell breaks loose.
Mm,
And then find something that you believe in, maybe something in your closet. Maybe if you buy Louis Vuitton or you drink Moet or whatever the case may be, or you buy I don't know, Nike. If you believe in those companies and you're a constant buyer of those companies, why not own them? So buy those and then consistently buy them, like we just talked about. Just be consistent, like anything in investing, period, and anything in life, period. Just be
just be
consistent at it.
consistent.
Consistent, good habits, and they will pay huge dividends, like we talked about. So
Mm-hmm.
just keep doing that, and then just doing research. Research things that are going on in the market. You can listen to Yahoo Finance. You can listen to obviously Wall Street Trapper. You can listen to the EYL guys. Somebody,
Mm-hmm.
if you're African American or minority, somebody who looks like you that
Yep.
is giving out good information. That's the route I would go.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And where would you say someone should start when it comes to investing, other than putting the money together? But like, what? How can you start, if that makes sense?
Yeah, sure. I would start by opening up a brokerage account. I like the interface of Robinhood, and I know a lot of people don't like Robinhood, but Robinhood is has a easy user interface to me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I use Fidelity. Fidelity's pretty good as well, and they have a lot of
Okay.
different like things that you can research, and they have different like videos and things like you can watch. YouTube, you can watch YouTube on investing for
Mm-hmm.
dummies. You know, just look at everything, read everything. Warren Buffett, read different books and things of that nature, and just get your mind right and wrapped around investing. And know it's for the long term. It's not for that quick thing, because once you start doing that, you're gonna be chasing everything. Stuff goes down. Oh my God, I won't pull my money out. It's like you're
Mm-hmm.
gambling. So
Yeah.
know what type of investor you are, what type of temperament you have. And if you don't have the temperament for long term investing, then maybe that's not something that you need to be getting into, because like it's definitely not for the faint of heart
Mm-hmm.
at all. For times like these where we're in
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
down, bought at high prices, whatever the case may be. So just whatever your stick to whatever your plan is, formulate a plan, stick to it, and just be consistent. That's it.
All right. Next topic is budgeting.
Oh yes, sir. Yes,
So you touched on it a little bit when it came to investing, but let's
yes,
let's go in deep. Budgeting. Let's go.
yes, yes. So budgeting is a great thing for me. I think budgeting allows you to get where you want to go in life, but I think a lot of people are scared to do it because they just don't know what to do, how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So during the pandemic, it opened my eyes to a lot of different things that we were lacking. Like we provided a good home for our son, and
Mm-hmm.
things, right? But if something happened to me or happened to his mother, or at the same time, like would he know how to handle everything that we're going to give him or everything that we're going to leave
Mm-hmm.
him? So the answer is no. So what I started doing was sitting with him, either every couple of weeks or once a month, and just going over different things, and whether it be investing or budgeting, so he can know at least the fundamentals of what to do. Like when you get money, you got to bust it down. Okay, this is going here,
Mm-hmm.
this is going there, this is going there. I got to save a little
Right.
bit, so forth and so on. So budgeting is very, very important to build wealth to me, because if you don't have a plan of where your money's going, it's just going. Pew, 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 pew. Then you
Exactly.
go. I made X amount of money this year. Like, where did it go?
Mm-hmm.
You got to have a plan for your money. You have to. Like, it's very important.
I agree with that. So how would you say you budget? Like, do you use a spreadsheet, notebook?
So what I used to do, I used to know how much bills I had coming out. I think everybody did this at one time or another. Um, you know how much money you have coming out. You know how much money you're making, and then you can save the rest.
Mm-hmm.
But what going through the Dave Ramsey program, he has a app called Every Dollar, and
Okay.
I use it. So my wife and I, we use that now, and it is awesome. It breaks down everything. The only thing is that you got to be disciplined in using it whenever you spend money.
Mm-hmm.
So if you budget $800 for the month for groceries, every time you go to the grocery store, you got to budget that line item, so then you know exactly how much you have left over to
Mm-hmm.
spend for the month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it just helps you plan out everything. And we've been using it for years, and It's great. It's
Okay.
really good.
So, do you budget for anything in particular?
Yeah, everything, life,
Everything.
everything. So everything of whether it be a home project, whether it be my son's college, vacations, we budget for everything. We got a line item for everything.
Okay.
Even vacations we're not going on. So we have a sinking fund for vacations. So every
Okay.
month we put, a couple $100 away in a vacation account. So then when we ready to go away, we
You
got the money.
can.
Just we don't have to save
Yeah.
up for it.
Right.
Um, so yeah. So everything we got a budget for everything, a line item for everything. Yeah.
What are some benefits of budgeting?
Well, it gives you a roadmap. You say you want to, okay, well, I want to go here. I want to make, I want to invest this, or I want to, set my son up or my kid up for, for success, whatever the case may be. It gives you a plan. It gives you a roadmap to get to where you want to go. But you're the architect of that roadmap. So it's
Mm-hmm.
going to take as long as you want it to take. If you, okay, well, I know I need to save $5,000 for, whatever this thing is I want, but then you want to go on a vacation too, and then you go on that vacation, it's going to take you longer to save for that thing that you want.
Right. That's
So it
definitely.
just gives you that roadmap, and yeah, I can't I get fired up to talking about budgeting because it helped my wife and I get to where we are now, and we
Mm-hmm.
come from. I'm not gonna say nothing, but we didn't have money growing up at all. Like we didn't talk. Our parents didn't talk to us about money. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you ask for something, you may get it, you may not. But we didn't have a lot, and that was okay because
Right.
now we're here now, and now we can talk to our family members or the kids or whatever the case may be about what they should do so they don't have a lot of the mistakes and pitfalls that we had coming up. So
Okay. What does ownership mean to you?
it means freedom. Depending on how much ownership you have in said assets. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I like to own everything. I don't like borrowing money from a bank or whatever the case. Obviously, with a mortgage is that's different on our primary residence,
Mm-hmm.
but ownership gives you that different type of freedom that you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, because it's yours. You own it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when we pay this crib off, it's gonna get
Is it?
it's gonna get ugly out here. Yeah, because think about it. Think about it. Like if your biggest expense is your mortgage, whatever the
Mm-hmm.
number is, 1,600, it could be 2,500, it could be 2,000, whatever that is, and then whatever extras you're putting on your mortgage or whatever the case may be. Once it's paid off, you get to keep all that.
Yep.
And then you can do whatever you want with it. You can invest it. You can go on a vacation. You can do all these different things or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, yeah. So that's what ownership.
Definitely gives you freedom for sure. I'll just ask this one. How does ownership affect financial abilities slash freedom?
Well, it gives you, like I said before, you don't have to pay anybody anything, right?
Yeah.
You own it. You don't have to pay the bank anything. You get to keep all the money. So therefore, you get to make the decisions that you want to make with the money that you get to keep. So
Mm-hmm.
if you invested in more real estate, if you want to invest in the stock market, if you want to invest in somebody's business and get a dividend or a return off of that money that you're lending out,
Mm-hmm.
you get the bank.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking to do. Give me some equity. That's where I'm at. um, what does it mean to be debt free?
Um, man, it means complete freedom. Again, you get to keep everything that you make. You don't have to pay out anything. Um, you own it. You keep it. You owe nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And then you
All
get to
right.
make any decision that you want to make because you made the right decisions. Again, you did what you have to do, so then now you can get to do what you want to do.
Yep. Do you plan on retiring early?
100%. Yeah, It's always been a thing for me to be able to retire by 45. I just didn't know exactly how I was going to get there, so I'm not going to say it was something that I manifested, because I know that's a big thing with the book that we're reading right now, The
Hmm.
Power of Your Subconscious Mind.
Okay.
But um, it's something that was always in me. It's like, all right, by 45, I want to be able to retire. So along the way, I got introduced to Dave Ramsey. Along the way, I got introduced to investing. And along the
Hmm.
way, I bought more real estate, paying cash for it. Now I get to keep the money. Now I get to continuously buy more. Um, so now, once the last piece of the puzzle is to pay the house off,
Hmm.
now we dropped one of our largest expenses, and now
Right.
we keep all that money and then reinvest it in the other things. So I'll
Hmm.
be 43 on Sunday, so I got
Okay.
2 years left.
All right. Happy birthday in advance.
Appreciate that. But what I'm
No
saying,
problem.
I got 2 years left, and then if we pay the house off next year, and then we save up all that money and then invest it in more stuff, in more real estate and stocks and things of that nature, that 45 number will be more of a reality.
Okay. So it's definitely within arm's reach at this point.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
yes.
good.
I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and sometimes I get anxious because I'm like, yo, we got
Hmm.
to get this done. We got to get this done, and then I'm like, yo, we got to live too. Like, calm down, like,
Right.
relax. but
Definitely
but
feel you on that one.
yeah. But yeah, it's definitely an arm's reach for sure.
All right. Next topic: importance of sharing information. What information do you have for the listeners that you feel that is important to share?
Information is key, because it allows you to make informed decisions, right?
Hmm.
So I think if I had a lot of the information that I have now when I was 21, 17, whatever, I would definitely be in better shape financially than I am now. So again, one of the things that pandemic taught me is to kind of slow down, and you have all this information, so why not, give it out? So one
Hmm.
of the things that helped me and my wife and my son is just budgeting, right? So before it was invest. But okay, well, how did you get to be able to invest all this money? You set
Right.
up a budget. So I had to kind
Hmm.
of pull back on the investing piece and then give the information on the budgeting, because if you don't have a plan for your money, again, it's going to just go everywhere. So the foundation is the budget, and that's one of the things or the information that I teach anybody who's willing to listen. So I do a monthly budgeting class for anybody on Instagram, family, friends, who
Okay.
wants to do it, and show them how we budget. And then now you have
Okay.
the information, and then you can do whatever you want to do with it.
Right. So is that like a paid class, free
Uh,
or
it's free,
free?
and
Okay.
that's another thing, right? Um, I want to be able to provide something that helps people that they don't necessarily have to pay for. And
Hmm.
because I'm in a good financial space at this point, I can do that and not have to charge people.
Right.
And
Understandable.
and then later on, if I'm in the space where I need to charge people, then I've already built up a following to be able to say,
Hmm.
okay, well, hey, yeah, he's done what he says he's going to do. He's helped X amount of people, whatever the
Right.
case may be. Right now, it's all about just giving the information out and not charging for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Generational wealth. How can one build it, and how are you building it for your family?
Just I would say, again, it goes back to what we talked about before. Obviously, starting up the budget, and then putting money aside, being consistent in putting that money aside, and then once you're comfortable enough, invest in that money. And then once you get good at it, you'll just accumulate more and more and more and
Hmm.
more. And then that'll be something that you can leave for your son or your wife, or family members.
Hmm.
Because one other thing that I do with my son and his cousins, and I don't know if you saw it on the page or not, but I have I give them 5 questions, whether it be stock investing, real estate investing, budgeting, what are dividends, things of that nature. And then they have to
Hmm.
answer the 5 questions. Once they answer the 5 questions, they send them back to me. and then they get into the Zoom call. Once they get into the Zoom call, then they answer the questions in front of everybody. So there's like, I think there's
Okay.
like 5 people. They're young kids too. They're like maybe 10, 12 years old.
Okay.
And they talk about these questions, and then I give them $25 to invest in the
Mm.
stocks that they want to invest in. So again, getting them to that habit, that mindset of
Mm-hmm.
investing, so that when they
Yeah.
get money, when they have birthdays, when they have holidays, okay, well, instead of buying me those sneakers that I'm going to grow out of anyway, buy
Right.
me this stock. And
Yeah.
then that goes into family members, because now
Mm-hmm.
family members are stock or invested minded, because now the kids are asking for it.
Right.
You know what
So
I'm
they
saying?
have to
So
go do their research. Yeah.
exactly. And then it just becomes a mindset for the family. So that generational wealth is bigger than just giving money out. It's giving the information
Mm-hmm.
out and the money, and then being able to help people build on that in your
Okay.
family. Yeah.
All right. What would you say are keys to building wealth that you would recommend?
Build habits. Habits, consistency is everything. Um, Once you find something that you're good at, or something that um, is not like working, then it's easier to do that thing. So like I did customer service for forever when I worked at Enterprise. I was a manager, as a branch manager. Customer service was a thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I carried that over to the real estate. So I'm a
Okay.
landlord now. I take care of people. You take care of people. You give them fair prices, and then you give them a quality product. Then
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, they're not going to leave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's very, very important. So if you're good at customer service, then real estate may be a thing for you, as long as you have the
Okay.
capital or the know-how to get the money to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's the long and short answer.
Okay. I saw you post something about being at the Social Proof podcast. Were you on it, or were you there as like a guest, or?
I was no, I was there in the audience, and
Okay.
Dave,
All right.
hey, we got some time. Just ask a question.
Okay.
Oh, cool. And that's not necessarily me. I'm more reserved, and I'm in the background. I don't want to, whatever. I'm more of an introvert.
Okay.
Um, but when I'm talking about finance, when I'm talking about budget and stuff like that, then
Just
I
go.
kind of perk up a bit. Yeah. Um, but yeah. So I asked the question. It was pretty cool. And I like the way his mind works, man. He's super sharp. He
Mm-hmm.
takes the emotion out of whatever answer he's giving you, and he's just like super direct.
Yeah,
And
most definitely.
I like that. I like that a lot. So, but yeah, to answer your question, I was there in the audience, and I was able to answer the question.
Okay. So, what was that experience like being in the audience?
It was cool, man. It was cool to see how the podcast is actually taped. And I think he talks about um, content a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and he did like maybe I think 2 or 3 podcasts in that one day.
Okay.
So
Wow.
now he's just putting out content whenever he wants, because he has a bank of it
Right.
to pull from. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really cool, because everything
Okay.
he's teaching us, he's actually doing
Right.
from that
Which is
standpoint.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So, I just have a few questions that I close off of each episode. It's one, two, three, four. It's 5 questions.
okay.
So the first one is, what advice would you give to 18-year-old you about what you're doing now?
Oh man. Um, I would say start investing early, because I didn't really start investing until I was 21. But I don't
Okay.
think investing was as easy as it is now, because we didn't have like the cell phone. I think you had to get on a computer. I didn't have a computer. Um, so you probably had to have a broker to be able to do those things. But I would say
Right.
start investing now, in one way or another. Find a way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What advice would you give our listeners on entrepreneurship, budgeting, investing, and ownership?
Wow. I would say start with a budget. If you don't know how to budget, ask. You can follow me at che.willis, Willis. Again, I do free budgeting classes once a month. They're free. They don't cost you anything. I show you how to set up a budget. But you may have to pay somebody else. Like if you're not comfortable with me,
Mhm.
that's fine. Just go to somebody, find out how to do it. Once you find out how to do it, you set a certain amount of money aside after you're done paying down your debt or whatever the case may be. And then start investing that money that you have extra now because you have the debt paid off.
Mhm.
And then you can start owning stuff, assets. Um, and just do it. Just be consistent. Just keep doing it over and over and over. And then you'll look back and like, damn, I got all this money.
Yep.
I got all the houses. I got all this just stockpiled. Like it's pretty cool. It's pretty
Um,
cool. Yeah.
what is next for you and Willis Real Estate
More real estate.
or real estate? Do
That's
you
it.
have do you have a goal on like the amount of properties you want to own or the types of properties that you want to own?
So I know the goal is 10 properties, but once I get 10,
It's
that's
gonna go
probably
up. Yeah.
yeah, it's go up. Yeah.
And do you want to stick to like duplexes, singles, or are you trying to go into like apartment buildings?
Eventually, I want to do commercial real estate
Okay.
because that's when you get $5,000 a unit, and then they
Hmm.
take care of all the damages and the this and the that, and I just sit back and I just collect the money. And if you own one of
Exactly.
those buildings outright, bruh,
You won't ever have to work again.
that's
Ever. As long as people are always in the space, you don't have to do anything.
right. That's right,
That's
and
the
that's what I
life
love.
I'm trying to live.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I love about real estate because somebody's always gonna need somewhere to live
Hmm.
everywhere. So provide it for them, man, and that's it. They'll pay.
Okay. Two more questions. What would you say to your future self 5 years from now?
You did it.
Right. That's what mine is as well. You did it. You got over the hard part and you're there
Right.
now. All right. Lastly, where do you see yourself and your business in 5 years' time?
I'm going to say at least 3 to 4 more properties. Because again, I just started the way that I was investing before. I was just putting the money in the bank, but now I'm
Hmm.
putting it into the stock market. So
Okay.
with hopefully rapid growth, I can buy more faster, and then as I
Hmm.
accumulate properties, and I can invest more and just keep that cycle going.
All
Yeah.
right. Is there anything that you wanted to say that we haven't touched on?
Um, I don't think so. I'll just say if you have the information and you have the time, teach somebody.
Mm.
Teach somebody something. You're in a position of you set yourself in and put yourself in this position or whatever the case may be. So teach somebody, help somebody else because that's what it's about. It's about helping people and getting people in the position that they want to be, as long as they're willing to listen. Because some people
Most
say,
definitely.
yeah, show me this, and they just want you to just do it for them. And I'm not
Hmm.
about that, man, because then you'll be reliant on that person to
Hmm.
keep getting the money, and I'm not.
Right.
So that's what I'll say.
And that's a part of the reason I created the podcast is because when I was looking to learn about investing, business, entrepreneurship, I was always looking at a white man. I'm just like, there ain't no one out there that looks like me doing this. So now I'm trying to create a platform where people that look like me can come and get information as well as give it.
That's
So
dope.
I'm trying to help bridge that gap at this point. So
Keep it up.
yeah,
Keep it up.
thank you.
Yeah.
Um, do you have any other questions for me before we finish up?
Um. No, I appreciate appreciate being on your platform. I think you did a good job. And just based on what you've told me, I think you're going to kill it out here. Just be consistent. And you're
Thank you. Thank
sure.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for donating some of your time to be here with me today. And yeah.
No
Enjoy
doubt.
the
Yeah.
rest of your evening.
I would love to come back in a little bit and give you some updates. But if you
Most
I think you
definitely.
follow me now, so you'll be seeing I got some things brewing,
All
uh,
right.
and it's going to be for the community and for for my family and friends and stuff like that. So you'll see it.
Okay. All right. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Have a good day.
All right. You as well.
Bye bye.